The principal at North Campus. I'm excited and honored to be here to honor our band, orchestra, and choir students. Dr. Kazmarchuk sends his regrets. He is currently being a father at the 5th grade orchestra concert, so he will be here in a little bit. And then Don Bosch is representing our Career Pathways program down in Rochester on a panel. So tonight it is me. So we will be recognizing our musical group of students who represented the district at a variety of state-level competitions in band, orchestra, and choir. Congratulations, students. As students come up, I'll read your name. They will get a bear pin and certificate. The bear pin is very special and is only given by our board, so it matters a lot for our kids. So congratulations to the following students who participated in state-level instrumental honors. Joseph Balata, All-Conference Band. Amanda Brown, All-Conference Band. Sabrina Brown, All-Conference Band. Mason Cox, All-Conference Band. Jesse Doherty, All-Conference Band. Sam Mayala, All-Conference Orchestra. Lauren Martin, All-Conference Band. Brianna Olinger, All-Conference Band. Ryan Pedersen, All-Conference Orchestra. Izzy Perrone, All-Conference Orchestra. Amber Redmond, All-Conference Band. Madeline Schulte, All-Conference Band. Tara Sikorsky, All-Conference Band and All-State Band. Matthew Springer, All-Conference Orchestra and All-State Band. TJ Ternisky, All-Conference Orchestra. And Shannon Anderson, band teacher at White Bear Lake Area High School South Campus.
Yeah, we can just do one. I think that would be the best.
What's that?
Do one picture.
Oh, one picture. Okay, yep, we'll do that. Can we have the parents of our band and orchestra students stand to be recognized? There we go. So students, if you can stand right there, we're actually going to do a joint picture. Is that good?
Perfect.
Oh, she wants to do separate.
Yeah.
All right.
If you two could come on up, that would be perfect. Sorry.
We're going to do all of them together.
Oh,
Does that?
okay.
Yep. So just if you'll, okay, we got it. Yep. Congratulations to the following students who participated in state-level vocal honors. Megan Amesbury, All-Conference Choir. Clay Ainsley, All-Conference Choir. Phoenix Bradley, All-Conference Choir and All-State Choir. Megan Carlson, All-Conference Choir. Madison Carroll, All-Conference Choir and ACDA National Honor Choir. Joey Dennis, All-Conference Choir and All-State Choir. Emmy Merrier, All-Conference Choir. Kirby Masso, All-Conference Choir. Peter McBride, All-Conference Choir. William Novak, All-Conference Choir. Opie Olusi, All-Conference Choir. Tom Pereira, All-Conference Choir and All-State Choir. Brenna Ryland, All-Conference Choir, All-State Choir, and ASDA National Honor Choir. And Wendy Suya, choir teacher at White Bear Lake Area High School South Campus. If we could have the parents and family members of these students stand to be recognized, please. Okay, students, if you'll come forward, we'll have you take a picture with the board, and then we'll take one with just the students and teacher.
Awesome. So you guys just want to kind of scrunch in here and make sure that you can see my face. Perfect. There we go. And if you just want to, there we go. And mark perfect. There we go. just the students, and if I could ask the board members to step to the side, that'd be great. Perfect. And if you just want, I think even if you can make 2 rows and find like find windows, perfect. There we go. Awesome. There we go. If you maybe want to scoot like right over this, yeah, perfect. That window, perfect. There we go. That's perfect. Okay. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna take a few here. Cheese. Awesome. Thank you. Now move out of the way for any parents who want to take pictures. Right? Thank you so much.
So congratulations to the students. There's cookies in the back, and please stick around and enjoy them.
I'd like to call to order Independent School District 624. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Wilson.
Here.
Beloit. Here. Chapman.
Here.
Ellison. Here. Fahey. Here. Mullen.
Here.
Newmaster. Here.
All right, would you all please stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have before us an agenda for this evening. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
A motion by Mr. Wilson. Is there a second?
Second.
A second by Dr. Newmaster. All in favor of approving the agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
No, same sign. We have before us an agenda. We also have before us a consent agenda, which is our sundry items that come before us month to month. One of those items that we're very thankful for is the generosity of our community, and this month is no different. So we'd like to thank them and acknowledge the fact of their generosity. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
A motion by Ms. Ellison. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Chapman. This will require a roll call vote.
Wilson.
Aye.
Beloit.
Aye.
Chapman.
Aye.
Ellison.
Aye.
Fahey. Aye. Mullen.
Aye.
Newmaster.
Aye.
All right, we have a consent agenda. This is the portion in the program where we take public testimony, or if there's anybody that'd like to address the school board as a whole. Typically, the process is that you fill out a card, submit that to the chair, and when we process that. I do not have any cards up here at this time. Is there anybody in the audience that would like to address the school board? Zach, here's your chance. All right. Seeing none, we will move on to our first informational item, C1, which is the superintendent's report. Dr. Kazmierczak.
All right, thank you, Chair Mullen, members of the board. Before tonight's meeting, we recognize students who received state-level honors in band, orchestra, and choir. Congratulations, Bears. Willow Lane Elementary fifth graders are taking over Donatelli's during the lunch hour each Tuesday through March 5th. Stop in for a terrific meal and great service. The district is hosting its 5th Staff and Community Wellbeing Series session titled The Fallacy of Perfect Parenting. The event will take place at 7 p.m. on February 19th at the White Bear Lake Area High School North Campus Theater. Community members are invited to stop by and chat over a cup of coffee next week from 11:30 to 12:30 p.m. on Thursday, February 21st at the downtown White Bear Lake Caribou Coffee. There is no set agenda, so please feel free to order a coffee and then find me in the meeting room to join the conversation. The District Facilities Planning Committee met last week to review survey results, participate in a learning environments discussion, and develop parameters for potential options moving forward. 33 of the committee members volunteered to participate in a solutions subcommittee that will meet in February and early March, building potential solutions to be discussed by the larger group at the March 20th meeting. It is expected that the committee will present the school board with a comprehensive planning recommendation at the April 22nd work-study meeting. The district implemented a 2-hour late start last week, which was a new experience for all of us. Thank you to our families and staff members for your flexibility in working with the changed schedule for the day. As we continue to experience this snowy weather, it is important for families to remember that they should always assume schools are open and in session unless they hear differently from an official district source. Ultimately, the decision to send children to school remains with families. White Bear Lake Area Schools supports those decisions that are made for the safety and health of students, and there are no negative consequences, and schools work with families to assure that work is made up when an absence is safety related. Right, our student representatives are both busy tonight with activities, so when you have students on a board, sometimes they have conflicts, and so student activities take precedence over a school board meeting. So I'm going to deliver McKenna Pratt's report to you. Again, this is from McKenna. Last month was the start of the new semester, which for most students means new classes. The new semester also started with 3 extremely cold days off from school, which I know students were excited about. South Campus Student Council and National Honor Society collectively volunteered 8 hours of their time at the Vulcan snow sledding hill at the State Fairgrounds on Super Bowl morning. They pushed kids and parents down the hill as well as catch them at the bottom, and a few even ran the winter mini golf course. It was a fun time for everyone at the event. South Campus also held the annual Suburban East Music Festival, where music students from all 9 schools in the conference came together to perform. The high school's band and choir did an amazing job representing White Bear through their talent and hard work. South Campus had its grand opening of the Makerspace located in the Media Center. Makerspaces are dynamic spaces with resources where everyone can make, learn, play, and discover. So far, it has been a busy place with students exploring their interests and being creative, which aligns perfectly with the strategic plan. All right, back to my report. The February recognitions. We have had many important celebrations and recognitions during the month of February, and we have a couple more in the coming weeks as well. February is Black History Month. Watch for information about a Black History Month showcase that will take place the evening of February 22nd at White Bear Lake Area High School South Campus. The week of February 4th through the 8th was National School Counseling Week. February 7th is National PTA Founders Day. And February 18th through the 22nd is Minnesota School Board Recognition Week. And in honor of the week, we hope you enjoy a special Bearshees bar. So this is our annual gift to the board, Bearshees bar. So we'll take one.
Thank you.
Again, in honor of the week, we hope you all enjoy a special Bearshees bar in appreciation of your efforts on behalf of our students and families. So, what makes up a Bearshees bar? You might be asking yourself. Coincidentally, the ingredients are reflective of the characteristics of our board members. So, from the ingredients label, ingredients, thoughtfulness, accountability, openness, representative voice, good-willed, conscientiousness, fiscally responsible, supportive, and proud. So thank you all for your service and enjoy your Bearshees bar. With that, back to you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kazmierczak. Is there any questions regarding the superintendent's report? I'll tell you that I'm looking forward to my Willow lunch. I think I will be there tomorrow enjoying some good pasta. So hopefully I see a lot of us there.
Yep, great. It's a great event.
Yeah.
Which Donatello's is this at?
It's
County
the,
Roadie.
Yep.
There was more than one.
There is, I think it is, County Roadie and
Yeah.
120. Yep. Great place. Okay, with that, we'll move into our first discussion item, which is D1, which is the first reading of school board policies 414, 415, 522, and 619. We have, so just kind of give you a background on this, we have a great policy committee that handles our policies several times every other year or so. They put them out for review. They work very hard to make sure they continue to stay updated, and then they come before the board for 2 readings. This is the first reading, so there would be time for board members to ask any questions regarding the updated policies, and then they will come back for a second reading next month. So with that, are there any questions regarding any of those policies inside of the board packet? Seeing none, we will bring them back for their second reading next month. If you have any questions outside of that, we will please forward them on to Dr. Kazmierczak, and we will move. With that, we will get into our first operational item, E1, which is the action on the revised fiscal year 19 budget. Is this Mr. Wald?
Good evening, Chair Mullen, members of the board, Dr. Kazmierczak. Annually, we present the fiscal budget to the school board for approval in June prior to the July 1st start of the fiscal year, recognizing that the budget that you approve in June is a preliminary budget. Often changes occur that lead us to bring a revised budget to the board for discussion at the January work session, and then again to the February school board for board approval. On January 28th, we presented the revised budget to the school board. Tonight, we're bringing the revised budget for board approval. The budget you're being asked to approve tonight is the same budget that we discussed on January 28th. Additionally, the budget document in the board packet includes forecasts for fiscal years 20, 21, and 22. So the recommendation tonight is to approve the budget as included in the board packet and presented at the January 28th work session.
So you've heard the recommendation. Is there a motion to do so?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Chapman, second by Mr. Wilson. Discussion, any questions, concerns regarding the budget? And I know we've had this thing, we've discussed this at the work study and gone through it at length, and I know it's been in the board packet, but are there any questions regarding so?
May I add one more thing?
Yes, sir.
There's also a step that we take before we bring it to the work study meeting is that the Executive Finance Committee reviews it, which includes a couple of board members, and then Mr. Wald, myself, and Mr. Wazorek. So,
And I will tell you that I asked a lot of questions there, and again, we wanted to make sure that it was continued to be thoughtful, and we believe that it is. So, any other questions, concerns? With that, let's have a roll call vote with this one.
Wilson.
Aye.
Beloit.
Aye.
Chapman.
Aye.
Ellison.
Aye.
Fahey. Aye. Mullen.
Aye.
Newmaster.
Aye.
Okay. Thank you very much.
I'll just note that in May, we'll bring the initial preliminary budget to the board for discussion at the May work session, and then you'll be asked to approve the fiscal year 20 budget in June.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Wall. With that, we will move to operational item E2, which is the action on the annual resolution authorizing administration to contract for budgeted items. Is this a resolution that we need to read?
No, there's no resolution with this one.
Dr. Kazmierczak, Mr. Wall.
I'll take it if you don't mind.
It just has you as the lead,
Yep.
so if
Yep,
it's
I
you.
can take it. So this, just to refresh your memory, we acted on this back in July, and we decided to move it to the January board meeting as an annual approval item. We just didn't get on the January agenda. So it's here tonight. In the future, it'll be on the January board meeting every year. There was a change in statute last session, so it raised the threshold from 100,000 up to 175,000. So that would be the only difference in this resolution that you're being asked to approve tonight compared to the one that you did back in July. So this, again, will be an annual resolution that will be done at the organizational meeting in January. We just didn't get it in this year. So that's what this is. It just outlines the authority to contract for goods and services, for administration to contract for goods and services. It outlines the parameters for that, so there's no question about where that authority lies.
So before we ask questions, we have a recommended action, motion to confirm the school board's understanding that the superintendent and assistant superintendent of finance and operations have been duly authorized to lease, purchase, contract for goods and services within the budgeted as approved by the board in the amounts up to $175,000. And reinstatement of authorization for the same pursuant to Minnesota statute, section 123B 52, subdivision 2. Is there a motion to do so?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Wilson. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Fahey. Discussion under the, for the authorization, under the action.
So this just brings us in line with the statute.
Correct. Yep.
Right.
Okay?
Annual statute. Okay. All right, this will require a roll call vote.
Wilson,
Aye.
Beloit. Aye. Chapman,
Aye.
Ellison,
Aye.
Fahey, aye. Mullen,
Aye.
Newmaster. Aye.
Okay, we'll move on to operational item E3, the annual resolution directing the administration to make recommendations for restrictions, reductions, in programs and positions and reasons thereafter. Mr. Mons.
Yes, and so this is an annual resolution that I would say you can look forward to seeing in the years to come as well. And so this is really something that we'd plan on bringing every single year regardless of what our plans were, so that italicized ending, if necessary, is truly meaningful there. But what this allows us to do is if we do identify any reductions that need to be made, either because of budgetary circumstances or simply because of a shift in programming, that we have the ability to do that through the spring.
So I know that there is a resolution, so let's read the resolution into the record. We'll ask for a motion to adopt the resolution, and then we can ask questions regarding such. Ms. Fahey, would you please read the
Okay.
resolution?
Whereas the financial condition of the school district and a reduction in student course enrollment dictates that the school board must reduce expenditures immediately, and whereas this reduction in expenditure must include discontinuance of positions and discontinuance or curtailment of programs, and whereas a determination must be made as to which teachers' contracts must be terminated and not renewed, and which teachers may be placed on unrequested leave of absence without pay or fringe benefits in effecting discontinuance of positions. Therefore, be it resolved by the School Board of Independent School District 624 as follows. That the school board hereby directs the superintendent of schools and administration to consider the discontinuance of programs or positions to effectuate economies in the school district and reduce expenditures, and make recommendations to the school board for the discontinuance of programs, curtailment of programs, discontinuance of positions or curtailment of positions as per the board fund balance policy.
So you've heard the resolution. Is there a motion to adopt the resolution?
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Fahey. Is there a second? I'll second it. Discussion. Ms. Beloy.
So is this not
I got you.
a policy that we've done previously in years past, or this is new?
I'm sure that at some point, this has probably been brought forward to the school board. I don't believe that it's been the practice in the last couple of years to bring this up, to bring this through. It's my recommendation that we would approve this resolution every year, regardless of circumstance.
So if the circumstances, so how would we have handled this previously then? So circumstances come about where we need to make these decisions, so this resolution would have to be passed, and then decisions would come to the board, or how would that work?
Yeah, so I have not been part of a period of reduction since my time here, and I know the district has gone through that, so I suspect this was done during that time. But as a general practice, this should be done every year, because even if you're shifting resources, as Mr. Mons indicated, this should be done before you're doing that, if it affects positions. So this will be, again, as we look forward, this will be something that will likely come to the board at the January organizational meeting as well. So previously, I'd have to go back and look at when this resolution would have been adopted, but as long as I've been here, it has not been brought forward. But we are going to do that now going forward.
So what's the cutoff point for which those things would have to be brought to the board? If you're cutting just one position, two positions in a department, what's the cutoff point?
It really depends what we're talking about there and who the decision would impact. And so there's some statutory deadlines with some of our employee groups, for instance, where that would need to come prior to April or prior to the end of April. It really varies by employee group for what that looks like. And hopefully we'll be in a place where we're really not looking at discontinuing the positions of our non-probationary staff members. But it's always possible in any year that could be an eventuality, which is why we move forward with this.
Mr. Chapman?
Yeah, I was scratching my head too when I saw this, because in the 10 years that I'm into now on the board, I don't recall this thing ever coming before the board. I know 916, which I sit on that board, has this a similar, if not the same, resolution. I'm just wondering, though, how common this is for other districts, non-intermediate districts around the...
Quite common. So I would expect in nearly every district that you would see this as a matter of course within their year.
Is it as open-ended and as broad as this language is?
Correct. It's pretty much, this is kind of the boilerplate standard.
So Mr. Mons comes from another district here. This was standard practice. My previous district's standard practice. It's a given that this would come to the board every year, no matter the circumstances. That has not been the practice here, but changing the practice.
Ms. Ellison?
I just, for clarity's sake, I'm having trouble weeding through the language. So could you help me understand, this is the school board giving the authority to the administration to cut staff?
It could be staff, it could be programs, it's to make budget reductions.
Okay.
And as I said, yes.
Okay, so if there's a financial problem, we need to cut something, then is there a amount limit? Like if is there a certain amount of money that we need to be in the hole or needing to make up that this will click into place?
So that's something that would be established by the board outside of this process, and any recommendations that administration would make would also be board approved at that time. So there's steps to get to that place.
Okay, thank you.
Hold on. So do you see an instance, can you give me a scenario that would create the environment where you would need to cut positions? I mean, typically with the budget and with revising the budget time and time again, we would do that beforehand. We would know kind of that's coming. So is there a scenario that you could suggest that would be a reason that we would need this resolution?
Certainly. So a couple of different areas. Number one, if we identify budget reductions that need to be made that would affect either programs or individuals, as a service providing organization, over 80% of our budget is in employees and benefits. And so certainly with any reductions, you may need this. It could also be something that happens simply by student choice. If you see a reduction in students selecting a particular area for courses of study, and we're going to see FTE go down in that area. So that can happen really any year, because there are some departments that are made up of 2 or 3 individuals. If those individuals happen to not be probationary, in that case, you would need this language in order to make that reduction.
Ms. Fahey, I just have a follow-up. So, but typically, doesn't that come before the board in the October or right around those meetings, and we have discussion prior to that event that would happen? From my understanding of this type of policy, that this is for something that you would need, like something catastrophic happened, and that we need to make decisions now, giving you the authorization to do so, or giving the administration. So I'm having a little trouble understanding the two.
Sure. So as we've had some budgetary conversation already, we're at a place where we are going to be looking at some options for that. It would be my preference in general, introducing a resolution like this for the first time, that we would do it, at a moment where we were in a little different financial position, so that it takes some of the teeth away from it. But that's not the case. We are looking at engaging in this for the first time here. But I think we really need to be doing this every year, regardless of our budgetary circumstance.
Ms. Fahey?
Yeah, no, I see, because each year it's brought to us and we vote on non-renewals for staff.
Correct.
To me, when I'm looking at this, and there are classes, when students sign up for classes, there are decisions made we cannot run that class because there's not enough students to take that, sign up for that class, therefore we have to move staff around. So my thoughts of this is we're formalizing a process that we should have had formalized already.
Correct.
Because those sorts of decisions are already made without direct input from the board. So I see this as something that maybe we should have been doing, that we just didn't formalize that process. Because I know I had asked questions about, was there a cap once on the numbers to run certain programs? And I see this as, this is what we expect administration to be doing in terms of looking at what students sign up for what classes, where we need to move staff. And as long as I've been on the board, we've always voted towards the end of the school, after that April 1st date, that these are contracts that are non-renewed, they may be called back. And this just formalizes that process. Am I correct?
Yep, you're
okay.
correct.
Mr. Chapman?
Well, on first blush of this, I was thinking that it was going to basically be bestowing onto the administration, I guess, the board's prerogative as far as decisions relative to staffing and so forth. But when I read the toward the last part of it, on the bottom of the first page, talks about that the school board hereby directs superintendent of schools administration to consider the discontinuance of programs or positions, and then it also goes on to say that it would be making a recommendation to the board. So if I'm, based on what you've already said and what I'm reading here, it looks like we still would have the vested authority to make those decisions. This is just giving you the go-ahead, or whatever you want to call it, to consider those types of actions. Is that correct?
That's absolutely correct. Okay. The practicality of this is that nothing will change from previous years to this year moving forward.
Other questions, Dr. Newmaster?
And I understand, as we have this discussion, and somebody that's looking at it from the historical perspective, having worked in the district for 45 years and seen the ups and downs of working in an elective area, that this sort of thing happens, and sometimes it's enrollment, sometimes it's program change, and things come and go. And it's painful, but I don't think it's taken anybody's authority. It's just kind of setting the steps that were there already. And there is always discussion and input from the board, because I've gone to many a board meeting in the past as a program's been shrunk or added to. So I don't think it's new, but I do think it gives the directive to what the administration should be looking at and a process. And then it says they recommend it to the board.
And
Ms. Fahey?
I see it as in terms of, this is our role in terms of board governance. We say, yes, this is what you should be doing. We aren't going to get in there and move, teachers around, et cetera. We trust that the right people are in place to do that. So I see it as part of a governance piece that might have been missing in the past.
Other questions, comments, concerns? Okay, this will require, we have a motion and a second. This will require a roll call vote.
Wilson?
Aye.
Beloit?
Aye.
Chapman?
Aye.
Ellison?
Aye.
Fahey, aye. Mullen?
Aye.
Newmaster?
Aye.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We will move to action, operational item E4, action on acceptance of bid for the 2019 HVAC replacement project, Phase 2 at Otter Lake Elementary. Mr. Wall.
Yeah, thank you. On February 5th, we opened bids for the second phase of the Otter Lake Elementary HVAC replacement project. Project was included in the district's long-term facilities maintenance schedule and will be funded using proceeds from the LTFM bonds issued in March of 2018. Hallberg Engineering served as our project engineers. The lowest bid was from Kraft Mechanical for $307,835. Kraft beat out Nassef Mechanical by just $65, or about 0.03%. It was a pretty shocking bid opening to see two large numbers that close together. We've worked with Kraft Mechanical in the past and are confident in their ability to do the work. And so our recommendation is to move to accept the bid for the 2019 HVAC replacement project, Phase 2 at Otter Lake Elementary, submitted by Kraft Mechanical in the amount of $307,835. And our building operation coordinator, Dan Rozier, is here if you have any specific questions about the project.
You've heard the recommended action. Is there a motion to do so?
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Ellison. Is there a second?
Second?
Second by Mr. Wilson. Any discussion, any questions regarding the action?
I do have one question. Will these bids go public? Or are they public?
Yes, they are.
Okay. Man, like you said, $65 on a $300,000 plus contract.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That's got a string, but
I've never seen one that
that does
close.
underscore the competitive nature of business. you know.
Yes, and it was great to see them, the top two contractors we work with quite a bit, so seeing the guys that we work with coming in lowest is great. It just reaffirms that we're working with the right people.
Good.
Mr. Chapman?
I'm just curious, in terms of the bid law, given these are so close together, would we have to, I mean, certainly I'm not saying that we would go against the recommendation, not at all. I'm just curious, would we have to take the lowest bid, or given they're only $65 off, could we take that other bid? If
We take the lowest bid. What I actually did, because it was so close, I had Hallberg Engineer go over with the low bidder just to verify that everything was included, nothing was missed, no surprises. So that was the price. And I talked to Nassif and I told them we were going to do that, and they were okay that we did.
But are we required to take that, you know? If
We're required unless we can have just cause.
Most responsible bidder.
Yeah, lowest responsible bidder. So if we had just cause, why we wouldn't, we could go somewhere else.
Okay, yeah, I was just curious how that played out.
As far as our facilities go in Kraft Mechanical, can you tell me what other schools, what are the schools in our district that they've worked on?
Every school, they're pretty much our go-to plumbers. They have electricians, all kinds of mechanical work. So they've been in every school. They're the guys we call if something goes down in the middle of the night, something goes down on the weekend. I've got their number in our phone. They respond within an hour. They're fantastic.
Okay. Other question, Dr. Newmaster?
One, does that include air conditioning?
It does. That was the last piece at Otter Lake in the classrooms that we couldn't complete on Phase 1. Prices just came in too high on Phase 1, so we had to cut out one section of Otter, and this will complete that work.
Mr. Chapman?
Just one comment, you will have a lot of people happy at Otter.
Yes, I've already heard from them that when we were telling them we were taking this out for bid.
Yeah.
We give the board their proper due for approving the.
Yep. I will do that. They're anxiously awaiting. Ms.
we
Mueller
haven't voted
said, let me
yet."
know right away.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Okay, we have a motion and a second. This will require a roll call. Oh, I'm sorry, Ms.
So this
Bullock.
covers, all of Otter will have air conditioning then?
All the classrooms, just like all the other elementaries, except for Hugo, there's one section of classrooms we still haven't hit, but
And
No.
you go also the lunchroom?
correct. All the other elementaries, we didn't do the gyms or lunchrooms yet.
Kitchen.
Correct. Classrooms are good.
No, I'm saying the kitchen.
The kitchens need it too, yes. The facilities committee will be talking about that in the upcoming work of what else we should complete.
Other comments, questions? With that, we have a motion and a second. I will ask for a roll call vote.
Wilson,
Aye.
Beloit,
Aye.
Chapman?
Aye.
Ellison?
Aye.
Fahy, aye. Mullen?
Aye.
Newmaster?
Aye.
Okay. And our last operational item for the evening, operational item E5, action on the acceptance of the bid for the 2019 window replacement project at White Bear Lake Area High School North Campus.
Okay.
Mr. Wall.
Yes, on February 5th, we also opened bids for work related to the window replacement at North Campus. And the 2s and 300 classrooms at North Campus, the windows are inoperable because they're deteriorating, and those classrooms can be almost furnace-like. So the teachers and learners at North Campus will be really pleased to have new windows installed that open and let fresh air in. Our project engineer is Inspec, a Twin Cities architecture and engineering firm with extensive knowledge in commercial window projects. It is recommended we award the project to the low bidder, S&J Glass, for the work associated with the base bid of $618,600. The high base bid for the project was $1,373,542. And again, Dan Rozier is here if you have any questions on specific projects. There were multiple phases of that project, and we decided at this point just to go with the base bid, which was to work on the 200 and 300 windows at North Campus, in light of the fact that we may be making some changes to facilities once our facilities master plan is presented to the board in the spring or summer. And so we may have been ahead of ourselves to do the second and third phases of the project. So this is just for the base bid, which would be, I guess, considered phase 1 of the project.
Okay, we have a recommended action to move to accept the base bid for the 2019 window replacement project at White Bear Lake Area High School North Campus, submitted by S&J Glass in the amount of $618,600. Is there a motion to do so?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Chapman. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Dr. Newmaster. Any questions, Ms. Ellison?
Just wondering, as these types of bids and projects are done, are they energy efficient windows? Are we looking at items that are going to last and to get us the most out of our energy in our buildings?
Absolutely. These are very energy efficient windows. Our old windows didn't have a water management system, which is why they failed after 20 years. This is a curtain wall system, which if water does intrude somewhere, it'll funnel out the water. These windows, our engineers told us we should expect between 40 and 50 years out of, where in the past we've only gotten 20.
Great, thank you.
Go ahead, Ms. Beloy.
You said we're doing the 200s?
Actually, the 1 and 200s.
1 and 200, so that is the main,
The main classroom circle.
so the main circle, not the outer?
Correct.
Okay. When do we plan on, or when would this actually start?
This will start this summer,
The summer? Okay.
yes.
Mr. Wilson.
Yeah, I'm curious about the bids on the windows. We go from, what did you say, 0.03% on the HVAC bids, and now we're looking at over double on the windows. At arm's length, it would certainly seem like you're getting something with the high bid that you're not getting in the low bid, and I'm sure that was examined thoroughly.
Yeah, absolutely. The first bid that was opened up was a $1.3 million bid, and that was like, we're in trouble, and then they went down from there. And our engineers said the company with the high bid, they're already full of work, and they said they do the job, but it's going to cost us a premium. The engineer budgeted this job, and he said it'd be between $600,000 and $700,000 for that wing. So he was right on budget where the low bidder came in.
Thank you.
I have a couple questions for you. Number one, has S&J worked for the district before?
They haven't. They've worked in a bunch of schools. Our engineer checked them out. And I also checked with Kraus Anderson. We've got some contacts over there, and they've worked quite a bit with Kraus with pretty good results. Kraus had me, like any contractor, they said there's a few things we should look out for, and we'll look out for them.
Okay. And then you had talked about a curtain wall system. They're not a punch system over there? A punch hole is where the window is just a regular window that would go into. A curtain wall is solid glass. So it's solid glass on that side?
Solid framing it's going to be. Right now, there's a window on the second floor, a louver, which is just decorative, we found out in most cases. So they're going to replace that louver with an insulated panel. And there's another window on first floor, and then there's another louver on first floor. They're going to replace that with a solid metal panel. So the curtain wall system will be a metal framing system where the windows can pop in, and then the panels can pop in underneath.
Okay. Other questions, concerns? Did he say did Kraus Anderson say what school districts they've worked in?
Yes, I think there was 3 named in the recommendation letter. Orono, Shakopee, Waconia. They're also doing work in Stillwater, and I know they got some bids in Roseville too this summer.
Okay. Other questions? This will require a roll call vote.
Wilson.
Aye.
Beloit.
Aye.
Chapman.
Aye.
Ellison.
Aye.
Fahey, aye. Mullen.
Aye.
Newmaster.
Aye.
All right, thank you very much. With that, that is the end of the operational items. We are now on to board forum. Is there anything under board forum? Ms. Ellison?
There's a couple of teacher awards and nominations that I wanted to highlight. 3 White Bear teachers were nominated for Minnesota Teacher of the Year, which is really exciting. Mary Malloy, who is at Hugo, Maggie Clark, who is at Onika, and Dawn Maple, who is at Matoska, have all been nominated for Teacher of the Year. So that's really exciting. And then Angela Bianco, who is a 4th grade teacher at Matoska, won Minnesota Social Studies Teacher of the Year. So she'll be honored at the beginning of March. So we love our teachers, they're great, but I just wanted to make sure to highlight those.
Mr. Wilson?
Yeah, I just wanted to underscore and urge everyone to support the Willow Lake initiative at Donatelli's. It's been going on for some time now. I think it's going to continue for about another month on Tuesdays. And, you know, we've heard so much about the secondary programs that, you know, for career preparedness and everything, you know, pathways and things of that. But this is really it in a nutshell. I mean, these 5th graders, they've got to write formal letters of invitation. They've got to prepare their own resumes. They interview with the Donatelli's manager for their positions. And then, you know, you'd say it's job shadowing, except they're leading their shadow, you know, and they do just a superb job. I really do urge you to go. If you at all have the opportunity, check the calendars for the dates that they will be serving, and you won't be disappointed.
Anything else under, yeah, Spade?
I do. I just have 2 things. Just a reminder to the board, Equity Alliance Minnesota is running 3 culturally responsive board leadership sessions. There are 3 different sessions. You don't have to go to all 3. You can go to one if you're available. They're on Tuesdays. The first one is next Tuesday, February 19th, and then March 19th, and then April 16th, and from 5 to 8 p.m. And normally food is provided. I will double check that, but normally at Equity Alliance, if it starts at 5, there's food that is provided and stuff. But it's a great, I signed up for the 3 of them. I will drive people if you want me to drive you, but they are great opportunities. There were 4 board members who went to one probably about 2 years ago now. The first one that they ran on culturally responsive board leadership, but they're a great opportunity, and they have new staff on now and have refined the process. So there'll be board members from other districts there. And then another thing, I am just going to mention this, even though McKenna is not here tonight, but I will mention it in March, but I don't want to get too far from the fact. At the Minnesota School Boards Conference Association in January, McKenna was one of 2 students that presented at a session on student liaisons on board. And McKenna did a fantastic job. You know, Dr. Kazmerchak and I were there. Her answers were thoughtful and insightful, and she really shone, and compared to the other student that was there. The other district represented was Westonka, and they just take their student senate president, and they're the rep, and often the student would show up, give the report, and then leave. And the other, I think, districts that were impressed that we opened it up to all students. There was an application process, an interview process, but McKenna represented the school district extremely well. And I will mention that at March when she's here, but I just didn't want to leave it too late, so. Good job, McKenna.
Would.
So Lincoln Elementary has their Read Around Lincoln event coming up Friday, March 1st. I'm sure many of you have received an email about it, but if you can, it's a great opportunity to come in to read to the classes. You get to pick what you'd like to read to them, and it begins at 2 o'clock and ends at 3:05. So make it come if you can.
And I just want to add that I believe, Dr. Kazmierczak, I think you can help me with this, but I want to make sure that due to the spring break in March, our regular board meeting is the first Monday of the month.
That is correct.
So it's March 4th, I believe.
March 4th, yep.
Will be the next board meeting. I know we have a work study in there, but just want to make note that the next board meeting will be March 4th, the first Monday of the month.
Yep, so work study February 25th, and then immediately the next week, Monday, the 4th of March, regular board meeting.
So tight couple weeks for business. With that being said, if there's nothing else, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Chair, I move to adjourn.
And I'll second that. We are adjourned. Thank you.